Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations 2017. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017. And this evening, or later on the replay on YouTube, I've got something very special to share with you tonight. One is some simple stamping using the Simply Said and Peaceful View stamp sets. Making a couple of really fun cards using some amazing designer series paper. And it's the 6x6 paper. I'm also going to share with you how to make this DSP, or I guess I should call it the 6x6 DSP holder. Now, this was not my original idea. A friend of mine named Melissa shared this with me at one of our Stampin' Up! Monthly meetings that I like to go to, and I'm going to show you what not to do and all the measurements of how to make this. It is really simple to make this 6x6 holder because I don't know about you, I don't know if you can see, but I like to be able to see what exactly paper that I have that's designer series paper. I sometimes get lost with all the different ones that I get, some that are current, I get lost if they're retired. This is going to help me know exactly what I have, so when it's time to reorder, or if I'm planning a workshop, I'll know exactly how much I will have. And so this has been super helpful. So I want to share all of that with you this evening. So let's go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera just a moment and we can get started. Hey, Kathy, I'm so glad that you got to join us tonight. We are going to get this going really quickly here and share some new designs. The Athena original design on the cards, and it's simple. We're actually going to have a workshop this Saturday, so if you are interested or want more information, just holler at me and I can get that information to you. I think we're good to go on that. I think I want to share first the cards, and then I'll share with you how to make the 6x6 designer series paper holder. It's really fun. We're using a couple of new products. We're actually going to use Thoughtful Journey, which is all this paper here. And then on the back, there's all of the coordination of the paper that goes with it, which I absolutely love. Thoughtful Journey. Hey, Heather, I'm glad you could join us tonight. And we're going to be using the Peaceful View and the Simply Said. This is in the new catalog. One of the new ones that I got at on stage. And then I'm going to share with you some new designs. These are Athena Originals. And like I said, I've got a couple of a new designer paper. And of course, I have a template that I'm going to share with you, the do's and don'ts on that one. So if you want to get your paper trimmer out and 8.5 by 11, because it'll use one complete cardstock piece, you can cut along with me and make that as well. We're also going to use this new mesh ribbon. It's the gold stripe mesh ribbon, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love to add a little bling or something to our projects. I think this may be retired, but I found it in my stash. It's the adhesive backed dragonflies and birds, and it's just a little something to go along with the thinking of you. And the great thing about this stamp set is it's got thanks, birthday wishes, happy birthday, thinking of you, let's celebrate, graduation's around the corner, just a note, hello, miss you. So it's got all the different greetings that you could possibly need for any card that you'd like to send out. That's one of the reasons why I picked that one tonight. And then we're going to use a piece of designer paper from the Everyday Skies. And essentially, I'm supposed to glue this to the back to kind of cover this up, but that's okay. I hadn't done that yet. But this Everyday Skies paper is perfect for the background for this card. So I'm going to share that with you. We're going to do that first, and then we'll do that holder. But if you want to do that along with this in a little bit, you can go ahead and get out your card stock. Oop, that goes with the other one. And then, of course, I want to share with you, let's see, I think we're going to stamp Yeah, we're going to go ahead and stamp on this. The first time I tried out this stamp, I didn't get enough ink coverage. And so I realized right away that it was probably my Memento ink that I was using. Although it looks great, I need to re-ink it. In other words, it's kind of one of those. So I got my Juicy ink pad out, which is Secret C. And then when you're working with a big stamp like what we're going to be using tonight, which I realize it's behind me, it's on a big block. It's on the F block, okay? And it's big. It is a big stamp, but it's all one piece, one stamp, right? And I put it on the F block. So I'm going to put ink on it, but the ink I'm going to use while I'm talking about it is one of our new in colors, the Secret C. Now I have 4 of the 5 in colors. I have the Strawberry Slush, the Timid Tiger. I just got that one, and Darling Duckling. This one, I can't wait to play with that one. It's, I think, June Paper Pumpkin Kit. It's going to have a coordination with that one. But we're going to use the Secret C for this one. And then, of course, I'm going to have available my blender pen, because sometimes if you don't get enough ink on there, you can actually bring in some of the ink. And I'll show you that in just a minute. Hey, Dora, I'm glad you could join us tonight as well. Welcome. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the back side of this one, actually. And then, of course, one of the, this is Athena original design, but what I wanted to mention is when I was using this stamp from Onstage, I noticed that it didn't quite get all the entire leaf. And so I did it several times, and I'm not sure what was going on with the stamp. So I went ahead and reached out to support, and they're going to replace it. We're going to try it again tonight. Like I said, we'll use this back sheet here, and then we'll use the designer paper. If it continues to do that, I don't know why it's doing that, but I decided when I designed this card, that would be the perfect place to hide that that's not complete. So I'm all about finding a solution to being able to use my stamp. Hey, Beverly, I'm glad you could join us tonight. Welcome. So these are the 2 cards I've got for a sample. So let's go ahead and start stamping. And what I'm going to do is I've got this this little scratch paper here, because this is glass, and I didn't remember to get my, I forget the name of it. It's this squishy thing that if you don't keep it moist, it dries up, but it cleans the glass, and I forgot to get that wet before we started. So we're going to go ahead and just use that one, and again, I'm going to re-stamp this one and see what happens, and then share with you, of course, all the tips and tricks that I have for hopefully that will be helpful for you. And of course, when you're working with the big ink pad, you're inevitably going to get some ink on you. So, you know, no worries. We can always wash it up later. And like I said, we're going to use Secret C, one of the new in colors. And then when you have a big stamp like this, I guess you could call this a background stamp. So it's in the new catalog. And I will keep the rubber stamp just like that on the block. And what I'm going to do is open up our Secret C. Nice juicy ink pad, love that. And I'm going to bring the stamp pad to my project, which is my red rubber stamp, background stamp. And I just want to make sure that I'm applying enough ink everywhere. And it's going to look pretty messy, but that's okay. It's supposed to look that way. And again, right there in the center, I don't know why I didn't want to stamp before, but we'll see. And if you ever have any issues with your supplies or stamps or, you know, just whatever, an ink pad, and you've tried all the things, and if I can't help you, then always reach out to support. They are really good about getting back to you and fixing any kind of issues you might have. Okay, that looks pretty inked up. So I'm going to go ahead and close the stamp pad for just a moment. Make sure I got enough ink coverage. And then just be real careful. And wherever this block lands on this paper, don't move it. So now we're going to apply nice, firm, even pressure all throughout this block. Sometimes standing up and applying the pressure might help as well, but this is a really nice background stamp. And what I'm doing is not only applying the pressure, but I'm allowing the ink and the image of the ink to soak into the paper, and that's really, really important. Used to, we would have that Stamparatus and no problem, we would just keep stamping and, you know, keep trying until we got all of the image. But you just want to give it nice, even pressure. And then, oops, didn't work. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our blender pen, right? And then we're going to just pick up some of that ink. And I'm going to kind of brush it in there, just like that. And again, we've got our ribbon that's going to cover up this part right here. And if you do have a Stamparatus, or I think it's a Misty is one of the other ones that they're called, I would definitely recommend using that. So if I decide to use this Saturday on one of your cards, I don't know, I'll have to get my Stamparatus out because that was such a handy tool to have. It's just a shame that some of those other companies, I don't even remember the names of all of them, decided to get into a lawsuit with Stampin' Up! And said, hey, whatever. I don't even know now, but okay. So again, sometimes that's going to happen when you first stamp. So this is my spare, or whatever you want to call it. So we've got Thoughtful Journey. I want to see what it looks like on this paper. Okay, because you've got two sides, but I like that. So we're going to try that again. And I think I'm going to stand and apply pressure. And then we're going to do this one as well. This is from Thoughtful Journey. No, this one is, what did I do with that pack of paper? Oh, Everyday Skies, on online exclusive paper. All right, so that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to trim these. So if you want to do the same thing, you can see exactly how to trim it up. We're going to do our stamping first, and then we will do our trimming. So let's go ahead and add some more ink to our background stamp. This is called Peaceful View. All right, we've got a workshop Saturday, so I hope you all can come. We're going to do a home decor piece. So it's a 3D home decor piece. And we're going to do something with the new sailboat and something with the Impressions Bloom. And you know I love fun folds, so you're probably going to enjoy the cards that I've got designed and ready to go. I just need to cut the paper for you. All right, I just want to make sure I've got enough ink. I think I do. And this time I'm going to stand up and apply the pressure. All right. It's going to land wherever it lands. And I'm standing and I'm going to apply all that pressure, letting that ink soak into the paper. You definitely want to make sure you have a juicy ink pad. And then also I'll give you a tip too. If you don't have this particular paper, there's some ways to make paper very similar to that designer paper. Just pushing down nice and steady. Make sure we get plenty of pressure. And the thing about the difference between what we first stamped and this one is there's some really nice background. That's looking nice. Now again, a little smidgen right there, but I just want to bring in the blender pen for. Love this tool. Stampin' Up! Has got it all going on, don't they? And then when you're done using the blender pen, you can just do this and it'll take it right off. And then you can reuse either end for all your projects. All right, so we're gonna stamp one more. So let's go ahead and ink this up again. Oh, that's what I'll tell you while I'm inking this up. I'll tell you about this. So you could get your blending brushes, okay? You could bring in some, you know, like lighter color like this, something similar, like toward the bottom, and then you could bring in like a light blue, and you can blend in different colors to have a real pretty design, and you can kind of make your own designer paper if you don't have these particular ones. But you can see how that's going to be really pretty on that card. Sorry, the table's shaking, I know. So I think the trick is standing and applying pressure. Nice background stamp. It's interesting because this was one of our prize patrols when we were at our demonstrator only event back in March at Onstage. And this was the one I won. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to use that. You know, it's a background stamp. I don't typically use background stamps, but I guess we all decided to challenge ourselves to think outside the box and then just use it. So I'm glad I did. All right, again, I'm going to stand. And this is just going to land wherever it lands. And I'm going to apply lots of pressure. Let that ink soak in real well. It's really nice. Cute little bird. If you have some of those, and this is a fun stamp set that I've just started playing with. But if you have some of those retired birdhouses, I think there was a stamp set a couple years ago. You could probably have one hanging off the top there if you wanted. That would look really good. Or if you have a paper pumpkin stamp, something like that you could use. Because we all have fun stuff in our stash, don't we? All right, again, I'm just going to apply really good pressure here. Okay, let's see. Yay! Love it. Okay. Again, a little bit on the tree trunk, so let me just grab some of that ink a little bit right here. I think you might hear my puppies doing a little barking. I've been going later in the evening to take him for our walks because it's just really too hot. Even in the shade, and the sun's been out all day on the pavement and sidewalks, it just makes it super hot. Okay. And we will definitely have our AC on Saturday, so no worries about that. All right, so now that we've got this ready to go, I'm going to carefully put my stamp behind me so I don't accidentally get anything on there. And let's go ahead and get out our paper trimmer. We're going to just trim it up. Okay? Trim up both of these. All right. And this is what I do, okay? Like I said, it lands where it lands, which is one reason why I didn't just, you know, cut it ahead of time. And I'm just going to line it up to find that's the closest spot on here, right? And I'm going to cut it a lot shorter because it's going to be a card front. but I just want to cut toward the edges here first. Let's see. There's a little bit showing there. Just like that. Just keep trimming it. No measurement to think about. So now, 5 1/4 is going to be this measurement. I'm cutting from the bottom. And then this one, we're going to go up to the 4 inches. And there is our card front. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love how that turned out. Same thing, we're going to trim this one up. Although I have a feeling this one's going to be a little trickier just because it's kind of lopsided. But that's okay. We can still trim it. Let's go 5 1/4. Just like that. And 4 inches here. Voila. All right. Now that we have our paper trimmer out, I think next I will go ahead and show you, and then we'll assemble these cards really easy. I want to show you how to make the 6x6 holder. Okay, so here's the measurements, and this is what it's going to look like. So in case you need a snapshot real quick, I'll share these later in our group page. I'm calling it the 6x6 DSP holder. It's going to take 1 sheet of cardstock, 11 by 8.5. And this measurement is important. At 11 inches, we're going to score it at 1 7/8 and 2 3/8. Then we're going to turn and score it again, 3 sides the same measurement. Now let me just show you what not to do. This is what I did. On the 8.5 side, I did that first, and then the 2 11-inch sides. So it does matter how you do the cutting and scoring, okay? Let me just mention that it does matter, okay? On the 11-inch side. So let's go ahead and get a piece of cardstock. I've got this beautiful paper here. It's Splendid Autumn, and it has all the different colors that coordinate. And which one is this one? Crushed Curry, I do believe. Yep. I believe that's the right one. Yep, Crushed Curry. So we're going to use Crushed Curry so that I'll have a place to put our 6x6 paper, and then the next one we'll do together again. And it's for one of the new 6x6 papers that is brand new to the catalog that I'll share in just a moment. I'll open it up and share all of that. So here we go, the 11-inch side. This one is the 8.5-inch side. So we're going to open the arm up. And it's going to be on the 11-inch side. And we're going to just score, okay? We're not going to do any cutting. We're just going to be doing some scoring. And since I'm challenged with measurements, let's get this one out. 1 7/8 is right here. So it's like 2 inches back 2. And then the next measurement is 2 3/8. And then 2 3/8 is right here. So that's like 2.5 back 2. Okay? So really simple. And the first score is going to be on the 11-inch side. Okay? Just move some things around here. There we go. All right, 1 7/8, which is 2 back 2, right there. I'm gonna score. 2 3/8 is 2.5 back 2. Score there. And then we're going to turn it. This is the second side, which is the 8.5 by 11 inch side. We're going to score it at 1 7/8 again, which is 2 back 2. Score. Next measurement, 2 3/8, or 2.5 back 2. And then the last score on the 11 inch side again at 1 7/8, which is 2 back 2. And the next is 2 3/8, which is 2.5 back 2. Hope that makes sense. And then you can already tell, perfect. This is going to work. So we've got one more that we're going to cut, or excuse me, we're going to score, and that's the beautiful gallery paper, brand new to the new catalog, the 6x6. So we're going to go ahead and score, and then we'll do our cutting. And you can already tell how I goofed up on the first one. My first cut apparently was at the 8.5 by 11, then I turned it 11.5, and then again. And you're only supposed to do the measurement once on the 11 inch side. So I've got a graphic, of course, with these measurements that I will be happy to share with y'all, as I always do, in our group. So we're going to go ahead and score this one. And this is Smoky Slate, I do believe. Whoops, sorry about that. All right, 1 7/8, which is, we're starting on the 11 inch side. So that's 2 back 2. And then 2 3/8, which is 2.5 back 2. Just be real careful with your measurements. Then we're going to score on the 8.5 inch side at 1 7/8, which is 2 back 2. I'm going to have this memorized before it's over, right? The next one's 2 3/8, or 2.5 back 2. You want to make sure it's always flush and up against the top there, or your score line will be a little crooked. That's happened to me before. That's why I mentioned that. And then one more time, the third, on the 11 inch side, we're going to score it at 1 7/8. And then 2 3/8. And now we're going to cut. Okay. All right. And this is a good template to use, even though it's not correct, but only one side you're going to cut in up to that second score line. So right here. And it's going to be this little tab here up to that second score line. I'm going to trim that off. On the other side, you're going to do the same thing. Okay. And that's what it's going to look like. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for this one. Sometimes it's hard to see that score line on the camera. Just cut it up to that score line. Trim that off. And on this side up to that second score line. right, we're almost there. Okay. So next, and maybe I should have done this first, you're going to want to make sure that you burnish all those score lines. And your bone folder is a handy tool for that. There we go. Let's see, I'm trying to remember now that I think about this, where the adhesive's going to go. So it's basically going to come in like this, and this is going to go just like that. Okay, so this side's going to come, both sides are going to come in. This is going to go around the side like that. And we're going to use tear and tape, and we're going to work it around, is what I like to call it. Work it around. Let's go ahead and get this one burnished. All right. I didn't look at my graphic before I went live, or I could tell you exactly, but that's okay. You can see the process of my thinking here and how we'll do the tear and tape for the adhesive on this one. Okay, one more side. I'd meant to share this fun project with y'all before. I just sort of lost track of time, I guess. Okay, grab the tear and tape here. I think it's probably right here on the table. Yep, there it is. Right next to me. All right, so let's think out loud. It's going to be these pieces that are going to need the tear and tape. And again, I've got graphics to share with y'all. Exactly where that tear and tape needs to go. And we're going to walk it around. That's really important. Because I think one of my 6x6 holders didn't quite look how I wanted it to look. And it's because I didn't walk it around. This is basically the only spot. It's going to be right down here that you're going to put your tear and tape. All right. And it sticks. So this is really good adhesive for 3D projects. Let me go ahead and do that. This one too while I have it out. And I'll show you how to, you don't need to worry about that. We'll fix that in a second here. And there. Yep, there we go. We'll do that one again. And this is kind of my measurements to make sure I don't go beyond that. Same thing here. So how many of you are going to get your cardstock and make some little holders for your new paper? And then, of course, we're going to use our little permanent marker, too, to write the name on this side. All right, so let's just do one at a time. Let's go ahead and start with this one. Like I said, we're going to walk it around. And what I mean by that is just like this. We're going to take this off first and walk it around. Well, it doesn't want to walk around, does it? It's going to be just like that. Now I'm going to lift this one up, and we're doing this one at a time. This is an important tip. Okay. And then you just bring that back onto itself, right that, just like that. And you're just gonna line that bottom up just like that. It always rolls on me, that's okay. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to do those inwards first. Oops, I sort of forgot about those dudes. Can't even see it. Kind of hard to see it on camera, sorry about that. So definitely want to, I have to use my take your pick tool because I keep my nails short. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and peel these pieces here off. Just find that where it lines up. Just like that. Okay. And then for this one, go ahead. This is going to go on the back. That entire piece. And then you can always add refills as you buy more. This is going to go on the back. And our beautiful paper is going to go right on the inside, just like that. And there's my extra pieces. And of course, I want to write on the side, Splendid Autumn. Because I'm going to line them up in my bookshelf just like that. Splendid Autumn. And I like to use the black Sharpie so I can see it. I thought about doing one of those machines or whatever, but I wanted to be able to see it. So that's how you make that. And let's go ahead and open our new beautiful gallery, because I want you to see how beautiful this paper is. It's brand new. This is one of those that I will buy it piecemeal until I get the entire suite. Well, maybe not the entire suite, but the bundle, I really want to get that. But I've got a lot of fun projects that I'm currently working on. So I'm trying to spread it out as I have time. Instead of buying everything all at once, I spread it out. Not that I ever buy everything. Let me just clarify that. I don't have time, money, or energy to buy everything, to be honest. But I do like to buy the things that I think are gorgeous and beautiful. This is no exception. This is absolutely gorgeous, okay? This paper all by itself, amazing. This is beautiful gallery. And now that I can show you the catalog, I don't know why I haven't yet. It's up here somewhere, I think. And of course, by now, you all should have gotten your new catalog. Well, shucks, what did I do with my new catalog? I thought it was right here. Oh, here we go. I have a spare, never too far. So this is part of a suite of products in our new annual catalog. Ooh, and that's a fun one. I can't wait to play with that one. Don't have it yet, but it's on my wish list. I have a lot on my wish list. I don't know about y'all, but I have a lot on my wish list. All right, so page 54 and 55. It starts here on page 52, actually. You can see you could actually get a frame, and you could frame this paper. That's how gorgeous it is. So you see all the little framework. Beautiful gallery. And that's where all this gorgeous paper comes from. Now, I did use this folder on one of my cards, I think, last week. And this one's interesting. It's got 2 sets of different, almost like beautiful motifs, gallery blooms. This is the bundle I'm looking to get, not anytime soon, because like I said, I've got lots of great projects that I'm playing with, but this one's really, really pretty. But it's also got these frames. I really like that idea. Now, this one's good too. It's got lots of other stuff on there. But out of this whole thing, I'm looking at the gallery blooms. And I think I don't have those embellishments yet, but I did get that folder. I love the folders. This paper, absolutely amazing, okay? Absolutely amazing. Look at the samples. And see, just you could totally frame it. I did see, and one of the reasons why I mentioned that I'm really keen on getting the gallery blooms is I've seen the die cut piece of this one in gold and then run through the embossing folder. Absolutely gorgeous. There's been so many samples shared. I'm just like, oh, this is so pretty. And this is another one I'm like, oh, I want to play with that one too. Like I said, I have quite a bit on my wish list. And this is the one that I did get, one bundle from the Stampin' Up! New magazine or catalog. Lots of great paper, some carryover papers that I absolutely love. All kinds of fun things. If you need a catalog, reach out. I do have some extras. And I'll be happy to give one to you. Beautiful gallery. So let's just look at a couple of these. Of course, they've got gorgeous back sides as well. Get what, 4 of each? Look at this. Okay, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You could use other stamp sets with this one, and it would look amazing. In fact, I wonder, the one we just did, the Peaceful View, that might look really good with that one. And then look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This one's a really beautiful set of designer paper. And see, this one right here totally could be framed. It's 6 by 6. And you could, if you wanted to do it in a 5 by 7 frame, but I think if you found a 6 by 6 frame, it would look really good. And this one, you could actually probably cut it down a bit. So pretty. Ooh, look at that scenery. Very nice. Oh, and that one too. Really love that. Oh, nice. Look at that. And then that big tree one that carried over, that would look good here. You could stamp that big one there and, oh yeah. Lots of fun ideas. That's interesting. Again, look at all that fantastic background. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And see, this side here, if you weren't real keen on this one, you could run that through with the embossing folder and it would just be a wow card. Simple and easy, elegant. Okay, now there we go. This is a good one. Definitely you could use the sunrise sailing with this one. In fact, I should set one aside so that I can, because that's another one I've been playing with, is the sunrise sailing. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. and this one. Ooh, wow. So pretty. So yeah, this is one of the new 6x6s. It's available in the annual catalog. This one's beautiful gallery. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one. And this time we're going to do it from the inside because I realized that was my mistake before. We want to just do those two pieces. Just make sure that is wrapped, the adhesive is all on this one side. And then just be careful and not in a hurry to do this. We're going to match up that score line with the edge. Okay, that's really important. Same thing for this one. I'm going to go in here. Sorry, it's hard to see. We're going to do the inside of these as well. And then on this one, bring that adhesive right there. And then again, we want to line up that edge just like that. Okay. Next, we're going to walk it around. Just like that. And again on this side. Just like that. And then of course, I'm going to write on here, beautiful gallery. Because we're going to put our new beautiful designer paper inside just like that so you can see it. And then we're going to cover up the back. And the reason why we're going to do that is so that we will see all of the coordinating colors, which makes it easy when you go to design a card later. What colors should my card base be when I'm using these gorgeous colors, right? Just like that. Now let's finish those two cards. Okay, we've got these all ready to go. So it'll be sitting on my shelf looking really smart. Here are the two card pieces that we've already stamped. And then I'm bringing in some balmy blue card bases, 8.5 by 11, scored at 5.5, and cut at 4 1/4. All right, so we're going to go ahead and, ooh, I almost forgot the most important thing. Before you adhere that, you're going to want to get your ribbon. And what I do is I have ribbon scissors that are dedicated only to cutting ribbon. No paper, nothing else, just ribbon. So I get a little bit of ribbon there. So I'm going to slice 2 of these. Beautiful ribbon. Just like that. Because remember, I'm going to hide the piece that didn't quite come through. I'm going to hold it down. Whoops. I really need to clean my Stampin' Seal. Just kind of maneuver it so it's right where you want it to be. And then the same thing for this one. For a minute there, I thought I messed up, but that's the background, what that beautiful background looks like. So pretty. Okay, here we go. Now we're ready to put it to our card. Oh, that's funny. Doesn't quite look even, so back to the drawing board here for a second. There we go. Okay. I'm going to find that sweet spot. Hold down one side, lift it up, apply our adhesive. And for the second one, that's so pretty. Find that sweet spot there in the middle. We're going to hold that down, lift up the flap. All right, so I think 2 or 3 of you have RSVP'd for Saturday, so I'm so excited about Saturday's workshop. All right, so the die cut piece that I'm using for this sentiment, I've pre-die cut out. And this is from an online exclusive from the die set. What am I thinking? Happy Hibiscus. So that's where that's coming from. And then our Thinking of You. Oh, it's up here at the top. Is from our Simply Said. And now our this one here is the die cut that comes from our paper pumpkin. So you could definitely use something like that. But I didn't want to cover up too much real estate. I just a little bit. I was going to use that one at first, but you know, you can see how all of the products just work so well together. Secret C. Go ahead and stamp that one. The great thing about circles is no matter where you stamp, it's going to be perfect. Oops. Oopsie. Oh well. That happens. Inky fingers. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is put these up on dimensionals. I'm just going to use 3. There we go. It's going to go right there. I believe this one is still available, the die cut. Happy Hibiscus. I think I shared that a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And the last thing, of course, sometimes I forget. The last thing is the little embellishment. This nice little bird right here. Although, you know what? We used those two. Let's use this one. So it's coming in from the right. Just like that. Look how pretty those cards are. Let's see. And it's really easy to make these. And of course our everyday skies is what we used. And thoughtful journey is another one. Now this one I cut out of an older catalog just so I can, and I don't know that they're all available like that because some of these are online exclusives, but if you had a catalog, you could actually cut out and put it on the front. So you could have a really quick view of what's in this pack. And then of course all the coordination, everything is on the back of that one. So hopefully you enjoyed this session this evening. Some beautiful gallery 6x6 DSP holder. And I will share all those details and dimensions and everything in our group. And please RSVP if you're planning on coming, or if you think you might come, let me know. If you want to bring a friend, let me know for Saturday. We are going to have a great time stamping together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next week. Oh, thank you, Beverly. Beautiful projects. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Happy stamping.